Great start. Perfect start. Hey, what's going on? Sorry about that weird intro. We don't talk about that, but anyway, um, I've been getting a few questions every now and then about one of my more recent videos when we got storms about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago by now. Or, wait, no, yeah, around a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. Sorry, I couldn't do math for a second, but I've been getting a lot of questions about that, wondering like how it even happened. And honestly, I don't even know because it just happened randomly and I didn't actually see it happen with my own eyes. If for those of you who aren't familiar, around a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, we got a lot of storms. There was like 4 nights, or technically 3 nights in a row, where we got thunderstorms that were enough to set the sirens off. But the first night was definitely the most of it because that's where we actually had to like go in the basement and stuff. But when the storms died down a little bit, it was at like 9 or 10 at night. I went to bed and then I woke up around like 1 or 2 in the morning and something woke me up. I wasn't sure what it was, but it didn't take me very long to figure it out because I looked like I if I was in bed, I sat up, I looked to my right, and I noticed that my fan is off. And I also notice that you guys can't see this, but right over here, like behind the camera, there's a little touch panel that just tells me what time it is, and it does a few other things if I tap on it. But anyway, I noticed that that was completely off as well. And then I also noticed that one of the lights over here that I have on when I'm sleeping, that was also off. So it didn't take me long to figure out that we lost power. And I found that kind of hard to believe because we barely ever lose power, even when we get really powerful storms like this. We have a generator, so everything kicked back on pretty quick, but even even with that though, we've we haven't lost power in forever. And that's kind of why we got the generators cuz we used to lose power all the time. But ever since we got it, we barely ever lost it, and that kind of drove us insane because we basically just bought a generator for nothing, it seemed like, because we never even lost power, so what's the point? But anyway, we lost power, and then I turned everything back on once the generator kicked in, and then I I heard everyone walking down the hallway and into the kitchen. So I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" I I got out of bed. I went in there, and then I saw that the neighbor's tree was in our yard. I was not expecting to see that at all. Although I guess I shouldn't be like super surprised because the tree that ended up in our yard, like ever since we moved into this house, I noticed that that tree was like it was not standing up straight at all. It was definitely like leaning over a lot, and honestly, I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. But I don't know. Either way, it was just insane because it completely took out the power line, and it also left a pretty big dent in our fence, and it also scratched up a little bit of the grass and stuff. Thank God it did not hit the house. That was the main concern when I saw that the tree was on the ground. Thankfully, it did not hit the house, but it did completely take out the power lines and also a little bit of the fence. And if for those of you who haven't seen this, I'll show you guys the clip right here. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You can see like the second that the tree falls down and then the power lines go with it. But I think what happened was since we got so much rain and everything that the ground like around the tree got like too like soft and squishy to the point where it just couldn't support the tree anymore, so it finally just gave out. But yeah, it was ridiculous. I don't know how that happened. Well, I know how it happened, but like, I'm just still kind of surprised about it. And this is, at the time I'm filming this, it's been about 2 weeks or so since that happened, but I'm not sure, like, how long it's gonna take to get everything fixed up and all of that, because we still have, like, the people that take care of all of the damage and everything, like, they came by and they fixed the power lines, and they got the tree out of the yard and all of that, and out of the road, because it was also, funnily enough, it was also blocking the road, and that also made it so that my bus to school had to turn around and take a different route. But um, but the people took care of all of that. But our fence is still, well, part of our fence, I should say, is still not in the best shape. Like, it kind of, if the top of the fence goes straight across, part of it just kind of dips down, kind of like a V shape. So, yeah. And that also makes it so that Bosco can just jump over it even easier if he wants to. Thankfully, he's a very good dog, and he hasn't even tried to jump over the fence yet. But that's besides the point. But either way, we got to get it fixed up, because it's just not good right now, like, at all. But considering that that it was a whole tree that fell down, I don't think the damage and everything that happened was as bad as I thought it would be, but it was still just insane. And there's also a little hole in the bottom of the fence, or like a little gap, and Bosco probably could just walk through that if he wanted to, so we had to wedge something in between there to make it so that can't happen anymore. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I think our plan is actually to kind of put a little gate in the fence, like a double gate, that way, in case we ever have to get, like, through there, we don't have to climb the fence, even though it's not hard to climb at all, but it'll just be easier and faster to do that instead. And it's the kind of fence that is not, like, it's not really a fence that is what most people would want, because it doesn't give you privacy at all in your backyard, but at the same time it's one that's really easy to climb. So if we ever, like, lose something on the other side, you can easily climb it and retrieve it. But yeah, that's kind of I hope that answered any questions that you guys have had about one of my most recent videos. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about all of this, because it was pretty ridiculous. And again, it was 3 nights in a row where we got storms like this. It's only the first night when something like the tree happening actually happened. Like, the next 2 nights after that, it was just storms that caused the sirens to go off. And we also, funnily enough, the next few days after that, after all the storms and everything, I went downtown. One of the park areas was completely flooded, and that also led to flooding in one of the intersections where it's like the most common entrance and exit to get in and out of town where I live, which that was fun to get through. But yeah, anyway, I hope that this answered any of your guys' questions that you might have had, and yeah, I'm gonna have to end it here because it's almost 11 at night. But thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope that this answered your guys' questions if you had any, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.